Okay, so Avi is going to be here tonight speaking, but if you don't know who he is, we've had him down a number of times. Actually, Steve, why don't you just introduce him?
Well, Avi's been my tour guide in Israel for years and years. It's better than 10 years. It might be 15, something like that. And he's a retired IDF colonel and a pretty knowledgeable guy. And he's just a great guy. And so I love to have him, when he comes into town, come and talk to our fellowship about things that are going on in Israel and just keeping people up to date on what's happening with God's chosen people. So he's here today to talk about some of the things that are taking place in Israel right now with the Hamas war and some of the things that are going on in the northern border with Hezbollah and Syria and that kind of stuff. So
awesome.
Where we're at.
All right, so Avi and his wife Anat were here last night at our men's and women's studies, and so I kind of already got a flavor. So I want to ask just different questions because we got to spend time with them last night. But for you guys that weren't there, I'll just start out with the basic. Give us, Avi, just a brief update to bring everyone along who maybe has been sleeping under a rock on the status of Israel and where you're at, and I'll let you speak accordingly to that, and then I have some questions follow up.
Okay, I think the main event that influenced Israel the last couple of months was October 7. This Hamas terror organization attacked from Gaza, breaking into Israel, just next to the kibbutzim that is just next to the border, kidnap, rape, murder, hundreds, actually 1,100 civilians, and by that actually violate the some kind of ceasefire that was there until October 6th. After this terrible event, I would say this is the most terrible event since the establishment of the State of Israel 76 years ago. It took the IDF another 3 weeks. We recruit the reserve forces, which are the main force of the IDF, and we enter into Gaza to disable the Hamas military ability and try to end the story of Hamas as a terrorist base that actually financed and led and equipped by Iran. So there are battles until now. We took over most of Gaza Strip, and we succeeded to disassemble and destroy 70 battalions from the 24 that the Hamas have. There's still fights at the southern part of Gaza in the town of Khan Yunis, and now most of the Gaza people was evacuated to the southern part of Gaza, to the next to the town of Rafah. We did our best to try not to harm civilians, and it's still going on. So this is the main thing.
Avi, can you, before we get into it, can you talk to, because I don't know that people know the history of how Israel came into control of Gaza and the whole situation with Gaza's self-government and all of that.
Gaza was Egyptian territory until 1967, Six-Day War. And then we took over Gaza Strip and the Sinai Peninsula. In 1978, with the peace agreement between Israel and Egypt, the Egyptians got back in their hands the whole Sinai Peninsula. Somehow, very wisely, the former Egyptian president, Mr. Sadat, asked Menachem Begin, the Prime Minister of Israel, to get the Gaza Strip. And the two gentlemen sit in Camp David, and they decided that in about 7 years they're going to give them some kind of autonomy. And actually, this was a big mistake because Gaza Strip left in our hands. Probably the Egyptian president know exactly what kind of hornet net he have there. And since then, we are there until we withdraw from Gaza at the time of Ariel Sharon as the prime minister, 2013, 2014. We left all the Israeli settlements that was there. we left the Palestinian the infrastructure of the greenhouses, the irrigation system, so they can develop their own agriculture. And Gaza the idea of Gaza was Gaza first. Gaza is a role model to the ability of the Palestinian Authority to rule to self-controlling on the what will be some kind of Palestinian state. It took about a year that the PLO was ruling over there, and then the Hamas, which is much more extreme, actually support, as I told you, by the Iranian, took over violently, killed the PLO people, and controlled Gaza since then. From that point on, there were a few rounds of launching rockets over Israel, and few operation, quite mild, quite limited, to try to stop it. And this is how we stuck in the middle with Gaza.
Yeah. So before Israel was in control of Gaza, and again, that happened through the 67 war. And so it was Gaza and the Sinai Peninsula. Sinai was given back. So why was Gaza separate from Egypt in the first place?
Well, that's a very good question, because somehow the Egyptian didn't want to get Gaza. And the three gentlemen, President Carter at that time, and Prime Minister Begin and President Sadat, decided that the Palestinians probably get some kind of self-definitions, and Gaza will be some kind of a southern part of the coming in the future Palestinian state in Judea and Samaria, with some kind of a connection between them. And actually, after the Oslo Agreement in 1995, 1994, the idea was that there would be some kind of a trek between Gaza to the Judea and Samaria, which it can bring goods and stuff like this. The idea was to build a port in Gaza. The idea was to build an airport in Gaza. But when the Hamas took over, actually the Hamas have nothing to do with the Palestinian ideas. The people of Gaza were kidnapped by a terror organization that his goals will just make a mess everywhere they can, like the Iranian doing with the Hezbollah at the north and with other places all over this region.
Okay, so when Egypt was in control of Gaza, were the Palestinians in Gaza allowed to go into Egypt and live there?
No. The Egyptian make it very clear that Gaza is some kind of a separate area, and they limit the people of Gaza, and not by accident, the Egyptian now built and strengthened their border control and border obstacles over there, because they don't want the people of Gaza coming there.
Right.
And I must say that in the Arab world, the Palestinians looks as, I would say, the lowest in the ladder, and the Arab states don't really care about it, because if they would care about it, they could solve for example, the refugees problem in 76 years from 1948 and up. With the oil money, they didn't want to. And for years, we was told that there won't be any peace with any Arab countries unless the Palestinian problem will solved. And then we saw the change at the Arab world. At the beginning, it was Egypt. In 1978, with the peace agreement, and then it was Jordan, and then last 4 years, it's the Emirates. So the Gaza people looked differently by the.
Yeah. So one more question about the historical stuff. So when Egypt was in control of Gaza, were the Palestinians in Gaza allowed to work in Egypt?
Probably some of them, yes, but mainly they control the population over there, and they don't. They were formerly Egyptian citizens, but some kind of limitation over there.
Okay. All right.
Unlike the situation in Israel, which even after we didn't have any control in Gaza, we allowed more than 20,000 Palestinians from Gaza Strip coming to Israel every day for work, trying to get them a better life and better opportunities. And all those didn't works regarding the Hamas intention, and the results was the massacre in October 7.
Okay.